the most famous toy store in the world, is on Fifth Avenue in New York City. That store brings a lot of joy into children's lives, especially during the holidays. But as you'll discover here, it once had a secret that caused one man much pain. Nelson, a wealthy industrialist, had heard stories of the toy store's private and exclusive doll room, reserved for special customers only, he was told. Nelson, with all his power and money and prestige, desired to be one of those special customers. He envisioned his daughter as being the envy of all the girls on the East Side when she went strolling on Christmas morning with her magnificent new doll. Unfortunately, Nelson was told viewings in the doll room were for an exclusive list and he was not among them. Unperturbed, Nelson offered money, more and more money, to the store's owner, who continually rebuffed him. That's when Nelson came up with his dastardly plan. He would break into the store under the cover of darkness, enter the doll room, steal the most magnificent of all the dolls, and then burn the store down. It was 2 a.m. when Nelson crept through the service entrance, his footsteps echoing on the polished marble floor. The grand toy store was eerily silent, aisles of stuffed animals frozen in perpetual cheer, eyes glinting in the moonlight, spilling through the atrium. Nelson discovered the doll room at the bottom of a winding staircase, an old oak door with brass fittings, and a keyhole shaped like a heart greeted him. Nelson picked the lock with practiced ease, and the door creaked open. Inside, glass cases lined the walls. Row upon row of dolls sat in perfect stillness. Porcelain faces, glass eyes, stiff little hands folded in their laps. The splendor of it all was breathtaking. At first, the room was silent, but as Nelson stepped inside, he swore he heard a faint rustling, like fabric shifting. He ignored the sound and scanned the shelves until he found her, the doll he had come for. Her face was pale and delicate, framed with golden curls, lips painted the faintest red. He reached out to lift the doll, and all at once, every other doll in the room, heads turned. Too enraptured to notice, Nelson grabbed the magnificent doll. A chorus of tiny joints creaked. Dozens of dolls shifted in unison, their dainty faces cracking into hideous grimaces, porcelain teeth sharpened into fangs, painted smiles split wider, revealing jagged cracks that resembled gaping mouths. Now seeing what was happening around him, Nelson staggered back, clutching the golden-haired doll as the others clambered from their cases, their footsteps tapping like rodent claws on the floor. Their tiny voices rose in a chorus of shrill whispers, "Mine, mine, mine." And with that, Nelson ran, fleeing the room, up the winding staircase and down the aisles of the famous store. Behind him, dozens of dolls skittered across the floor, leaping from shelves, crawling with insect-like speed. He sprinted past teddy bears, toy soldiers, and rocking horses, his lungs burning, the whispers of the dolls filling his ears. Mine, mine, mine. He arrived panting at the main atrium, but the exit doors slammed shut as if locked by invisible hands. The golden-haired doll grew heavier in his grasp, her porcelain skin darkening, her mouth twisting into a leer. Her glass eyes blinked, and she whispered in a voice far too low and knowing for a doll, "You don't steal me, I steal you." Her tiny porcelain arms writhed, elongating, wrapping around Nelson's throat like a garrote. He screamed as the other dolls closed in, their glass eyes gleaming with wicked joy. When morning came, the staff found the doll room closed and locked as if untouched. The golden-haired doll was back in her glass case, hands folded sweetly in her lap. But if you look closely, her painted smile is wider, and in her eyes, some swear they see the distorted reflection of a man's face, frozen in a screen, trapped to eternally roam an enchanted doll room on the crossroads.